Hey, what's shaking YouTube? This is GK, and we're back again to start off a brand new week. Thanks for taking a few minutes of your day to join us. We truly appreciate you making time in your hobby collection for us. And what we've got going on today, we're getting ready to head out the door. We've got the orders from Saturday, and then we got the orders from Sunday to drop into the mail and send off to customers that were gracious enough to give us orders over the weekend. I think we're only talking about 15 orders, and some of them are multiple cards, but it's just 15 PWE sales that are going out, and that's really kind of the reality. I know that that's the reality for us anyway. And I'm sure I know there's a lot of people doing a lot better numbers on a lot better cards, but if you're looking at just simple low-end base and or junk wax cards, there's an effective market out there. That 15 this morning proves that. So man, don't be afraid to go out on a limb and go for what you know. But if you're going to do that, one of the things that eventually we all run into is a return shipment or a dissatisfied customer. And we ran into the same thing, and we kind of want to share that experience really quickly with you. So here's the scenario. About 10 days ago, we got a message through eBay of a prospective buyer saying, hey, I want to buy 3 cards from you. Will you put them in top loaders? And we typed back a message, real quick, said, hey, yeah, sure. And we kind of explained our shipping process, that every card is placed in a sleeve and it's in a top loader, placed in a team bag, taped between couple pieces of cardboard before we put it in the envelope to ensure safe and timely shipping. And then a little while later, sure enough, there comes 3 separate purchases from a buyer. So, we log that information down in our logbook, get the cards together. It's 3 cards going to 1 buyer. Typically what we do on those multiple type of orders, and I think we're talking, $1.09, $1.19, and $1.39, about $3.67 total. And on an order like that, what we'll do is we'll take those 3 cards, sleeve them, put them in a single 100-point top loader so we can put them in the mail with non-machinable stamp on there. And so then that's what we did. We sent it off, didn't think anything more of it. Then about 7 days later, we get a message real short from the buyer, just, where's my cards, man? And typically what we would do up to this point is if we got a message like that, based on the message, we just right away just refund the buyer immediately, 100%, no questions asked. Hey, if the cards didn't make it, that's kind of on us. I mean, we put them in the mail, but it doesn't mean that they always get there. And PWE, sometimes it can be a gamble. Now, I will say that, that is probably less than 10% of your total sales will end up that way. So don't have an unnecessary fear in that regard. But, that's kind of how we looked at it. But ironically, a couple days before, we had kind of the same issue where, buyer said, hey, I didn't get my cards. We made an immediate refund at that point. And then the next day, the buyer says, hey, I got my cards. But the buyer didn't bother to pay us back for the cards, So we're kind of learning how to navigate these waters. So with this buyer, this is, where's my cards? And our reply was, hey, over the past month, we've seen a small increase in the amount of slow shipping. Please give it, 7 to 10 days and see what happens. We didn't get any response. And then a couple of days later, that would have happened on Friday. On Sunday, we get a message, we get a notification that the buyer wants to return an item. All right. So here's what made it confusing is 3 separate purchases. The buyer wants to return. They message, hey, where's the card on a single item? Then they wanted to return a single item. We know from our documentation that we kept during the process, this buyer actually had 3 items purchased. So we wanted to make sure if we're going to, we can't just refund one of the purchases. It's the right thing, in our opinion, to refund all of them. That way there's no loose ends, and that's the best we can do. To ensure customer satisfaction. So hemmed and hawed about it, and I got to thinking about it, and I was like, okay, man, the only thing I can do is just like explain. refund all 3. So that's what we did, and after that, we took and we moved the buyer's eBay username, we moved them to our block list. And for a long time, when we started out in the business, we didn't utilize the block list. And we didn't really feel like we needed to. And to be honest, we didn't want to eliminate a possible customer. But what we've learned over the past few months, and we're averaging close to 10 sales a day, and that's about 300 cards a month, right? And at this point, maybe we can block a buyer is what I'm trying to say, because things like that, where if the card doesn't show up quickly, you refund, the buyer keeps the money, and I don't know, I'm not going to ask somebody to return $1, $2 card. It's not really not worth the hassle. Are we going to get it back in the same shape? As we've seen up to this point, there's no telling how anybody else is going to ship your stuff back to you. So, instead of having to process a damaged card or deal with all that, we just, hey man, keep the card. It's just cardboard at the end of the day, right? And so, so then we started using the block buyers list. And this is definitely an instance where we want to block the buyer, because if they did this to us once, and by no means do I think any of these buyers have been malicious in their statements that, hey, we didn't receive the card, but just in case any of them were, that prevents a repeat occurrence. And that's really all we can really do. So that's it in a nutshell. Be careful out there and have a plan. And hopefully our experience can help you develop your own plan, your own style with dealing with customers, or just the situation, because it can be kind of stressful. If you're going all out to provide a great service and a good product to your customer, and then somebody comes back and says, hey, I'm not satisfied, and that can be kind of a kick in the guts, so you got to have some thick skin. Don't let it get you down. Just do the best you can to deal with it, and then drive on. And that's all that we've got for today. We appreciate you taking the time to stop by and join us. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.